right. Good morning, guys. Oh, Monday. Gotta fix that. All right. Monday. How's everyone doing? Welcome. Good morning and welcome. Make sure everything looks all right here. All right. So, another week, right? Another week. More opportunities. Let me go ahead and get everything ready for us here. I got to get the live stream tickers all set up. Get that updated for everyone. I hope everyone had a good weekend. What did I do this weekend? I watched F1 and played a lot of F1. That's about it. Pretty slow weekend for me. So I'm rested and I'm ready to have a good week. That was sort of my game plan this weekend, just rest. I had a pretty busy last weekend, and I felt the effects of it for sure. So I wanted to come in this week pretty rested. So let's get started. Today is Monday, July 11th. We have some big economic data this week, guys. We have CPI, PPI data, which is definitely market moving. Does this mean that the market is pretty choppy before that? Yeah, it's very possible, right? We have Monday and Tuesday heading into Wednesday CPI. Sometimes we see some pretty slow action into an event like that on Wednesday, right? So today and tomorrow could be pretty choppy. We need to be aware of that. After this week, we have the start to Q2 earnings. So earnings is right around the corner once again. So we got a lot of stuff going on, right? And when we have a lot of stuff like that going, you just can't predict what's going to happen. You got to just sort of react to what we see. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the earnings economic calendar as always. Get ourselves prepared for this week, guys, as much as we can. As always, it's Monday. On a Monday, you have less data to be working with. You have less idea of what the market wants to do on the first day of the week. So we like to take it easy. We like to understand and start to get a feel for what the market wants to do on a Monday, rather than trying to come out of the gates firing on all cylinders. On a Monday, I like to take a little bit of a step back and start to understand what the market wants to do on the first day of the week. So today, obviously, like every other day, we'll look at economic calendar. We'll look at the futures. Let me go ahead and pull up the economic calendar and the earnings calendar right now for us so we can get an idea of what's going to happen this week. I will pull that up right now. So first of all, we have earnings calendar. Here it is. So here's the earnings calendar for this week, guys. We have not much today. Tomorrow before open, PepsiCo. So Pepsi, that's a big XLP name. That will be interesting to watch. After that, we have Delta. Not much else besides that. And then on Thursday and Friday, we start to get some big banks. So JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. We have Wells Fargo, Citibank, UNH, BlackRock, Progressive, PNC, BNY Mellon. So we have some banks coming in. We have some healthcare as well. So start to earnings. I definitely don't play bank earnings, but it is interesting to watch banks to see sort of what they say about the economy, sort of get an idea of what the banks are looking at as of now. So that's definitely going to be something to watch out for. Not to trade, but sort of just to understand what they say. It's good to get an idea of what the banks are saying, because the banks have a good idea of the sort of the current economic environment. They are the first ones to see any changes in consumer, savings, consumer spending. Banks are definitely something to, pay attention to. So that's the earnings side of things. Let's go ahead and pull up the economic calendar, because this one's going to be important as well. Economic calendar. Here is this week right here, guys. Today we have at 11 o'clock 3-year inflation expectations. So that should be something to watch for. Not much tomorrow. And then Wednesday's the big one, right? CPI data in the pre-market. This is what, I think the market is going to be waiting for this week, right? This is the big one. CPI, year over year, month over month. That's going to be big. Thursday, we have PPI, Producer Price Index. We have our normal jobless claims. And then we get some retail sales. So pretty packed calendar after Wednesday. So I'm a little bit concerned about these 2 days here, guys, Monday and Tuesday, today and tomorrow. I'm a little concerned about these being slow, right? Slow days, sort of choppy. That's something we see all the time, right? If you're used to the market, if you've been trading the market, you know that the market does not like to make big moves prior to a big event. And it makes sense, right? No one's going to want to be getting too aggressive in a single direction before something that is pretty unknown, right? Which is the CPI. So just be a little bit careful on today and tomorrow coming into that CPI on Wednesday. All right. So with that out of the way, we have Tesla levels. Let's take a look at Tesla. We have that Meta triple top. We looked at this last week. It worked out beautifully, and Meta has a downgrade this morning. Downgrade coming in at a supply level. To me, that's a recipe for downside, but we'll see. That's going to depend on what the NASDAQ does. But Meta definitely showing a very nice triple top. Google sitting in a supply zone. You guys saw Google had a killer week last week. Absolutely crazy. Pushed right into the 2400 level we talked about, and it's starting to see a little bit of a rejection. So let's be careful around that level. You do have the split coming up. I think it's this week, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the 15th. I think Friday is when Google will start trading at the split. I could be wrong on that, but you guys can confirm that in the chat. But I believe it is Friday. AMD, very clean rejection, and we'll also look at NVIDIA. We'll look at Qualcomm. We'll look at TSM. We'll look at all the chip stocks there with AMD. Amazon, still very weak. I don't know if you guys have realized this, but Amazon continues to underperform. Something to watch out for. Boeing, we've talked about this Boeing 142 level for like 3 weeks now. It still has not broken above it, but it's still not giving us the downside. So this is a trade that I've been monitoring and watching. XLE starting to lose this morning. So oil starting to move down a little bit. XLE starting to break down a little bit. We'll see what oil looks like today. This is actually something I'm very much watching because a lower price on the XLE could actually be positive for us, right? So watching XLE, and then finally Coinbase, really nasty rejection, gap down this morning off 60. Something I want to show you guys on Coin as well. So that's what we'll look at. That's my calendar for today. Hopefully you guys enjoy the stream. Let's go ahead and get started. So here's the NASDAQ, guys. And I know there's a lot of lines here, but I think all of these are very important. So the first thing that I want to point out, guys, is the double top rejection that we're seeing this morning. That's the most important thing. That is right here, guys. That is this green line right up here at 12,250. 12, you call it 12.2, call it 12,250. It is all right here. Now you have a rejection here, right? You have a rejection here. You have a previous consolidation here, and you have support back on May 16th and support back on May 10th. So this 12,250 level is very important. And you can clearly see the reaction that we're seeing this morning. You can see we have rejected that level and we are moving off of it. So right there, 12,250, that is the upside level that should be on everyone's charts this week. If we can break 12,250, then I think you get a pretty much instant move to 12.5. Now, why do I think you get an instant move to 12.5? If you come to my live streams, you should already know the answer to this. Right here, you can see that there is little to no resistance between 12,250 and 12.5. This is your vacuum in space right here. 12,250 to 12.5, there is nothing stopping us in between those levels. So I believe if you see a move above 12,250, if you actually get a legitimate move here, I think it will be very quick to 12.5. That would be your move into this next rejection point. This level looks tough, right? This 12.5 looks very tough to me. You guys can clearly see that. Double top right here, and then all this support. So this is going to be a very heavy level, this 12.5, in my opinion. A lot of stuff's going to be sort of sitting at this 12.5. So right now, 12,250, 12.5, those are my next two levels to the upside. If we lose 12,000 today, right? If we lose 12,000 today, you can see it here, right? We had some consolidation, some rejections. We had a hold here 2 weeks ago, and we're trying to hold it this morning. If we lose 12,000, I think you quickly come back down to 11,750. Very quickly. Why? Look at the price action in this area. It is straight up here and straight down here. So this morning, it's pretty clear, right? The zones are pretty clear. You can clearly see the 12,000 that needs to hold or the 12,250 that needs to break. You're in about a 250 point range right now. So we need to see which way does this market want to go in this range. Do we break 12 and do we go down to the next level of 11,750, or do we break 12,250 and move up to the 12,500? I don't believe that this is going to happen before Wednesday. That's my belief. I believe you're going to see this until Wednesday, right? I think you're going to see chop until Wednesday, and then Wednesday should decide this move. That's my opinion as of right now, right? That's my opinion as of right now. I think you wait until CPI. I don't think the market makes a big move until then. I think it stays within this range, 12 to 12,250. That's my thought process as of today. So that's the NASDAQ. Here's the ES, guys. ES is very similar. However, the ES is underperforming, right? ES is underperforming. You can clearly see the rejections at 39.50, right? Rejections and rejections. This is where we broke out of previously. So you can see the ES has not even gotten back to that 39.50, whereas the NASDAQ has touched this previous high, which is around June 27th. You can see we touched that previous high of June 27th on the NASDAQ. If we go to the ES, you can see that this is June 27th as well, but we have not even gotten close to that. So this gap, right, this underperformance right here shows me that the ES is weaker than the NASDAQ, that tech is stronger than the surrounding sectors on the ES, such as healthcare, such as energy, such as consumer staples. So in my opinion, this is mostly due to the energy sector being weak. I believe that is what's holding the S&P 500 down, is the energy sector, which is starting to lose some strength. So ES is in a little bit of a no man's land right now, right, guys? You can see the ES is just stuck between 39.50 and 38.50. It's in about a 100-point range here, which really doesn't show us much. You can clearly see in this range, it's just a chop fest. So for me today, I will be watching 38.50 to the downside. If we lose that 38.50, I think you come back down to maybe test this trend. And if you hold 38.50, then maybe you start to just chop in this area until Wednesday, right? And then Wednesday, maybe you get, the break to either side. So you guys can see we're in a zone. We're probably going to chop in this zone until Wednesday, in my opinion. If you break 39.50, let's just get bullish here for a second. If you do break 39.50, you can see how quickly it will move higher. Why? Look at this. Look at these two moves above 39.50. You can see how quickly we dropped and how quickly we went up. So I believe if you do break 39.50 off CPI, then I think this move will be pretty quick up towards this 4,000, 4,100. If you get the break. I don't know if you are. I'm not here to tell you what's going to happen. I'm just giving you the levels so that you can prepare for it. So 39.50, 38.50. You got a 100-point range on the ES, which looks to me like it's going to chop in until Wednesday. That's what I would be watching. And the ES is underperforming, right? The ES is underperforming. That's another thing to make sure you are aware of. If you trade let's say you're trading the QQQ and the SPY, guys. Let's say you're a trader of the QQQ or the SPY. You like to trade the market ETFs. Well, if you want to trade upside, I would probably go with the QQQ because it's outperforming and it's the technology sector which is stronger. That's sort of you have to think about those things before you enter a position, right? If you see upside, you'll probably see more on the QQQ because the tech sector is a little bit stronger than the energy sector, which is dragging down the ES. Okay? Bearish scenarios, you've seen the bearish scenarios, right? If you break 38.50, you move to the downside, right? It's very clear. Break 38.50, move to the downside. Break 12,000, you're moving to the downside, right? Just look at these levels. They work to either direction. Okay, YM. And of course, if you want to get these levels, I post them every day in the Discord down below for free. It says free technicals. Okay, here's the Dow. You can see the Dow has made a lower high as of right now and is starting to reject this 31,300 level, right? The 31,300 previous support and you can see it's starting to reject. So the Dow is a little bit of an underperformer as well. You can see we're in this little slow uptrend, making a lower high as of right now. Let me just clean this chart up for you. See right here, right? You can see this previous high, which has not been tested. You can see we did not make it to that previous high, and you're starting to reject. So if the Dow is weak today, you're coming down to 30,800, right in this general area, and you're probably going to test this uptrend. If you hold the uptrend, then maybe there's continuation. If you break 30,800, break this uptrend, then you can probably see what we're looking at here. We're looking at a pretty nasty bear flag, right? So watch for the 31,300 to the upside and 30,800 to the downside. You're in this range, right? Okay, Russell. Yeah, Russell's sort of just chilling here above this 1750 level. You can see that. You see this previous support in 1750, previous rejection here, and it's trying to hold above it now, 1750. So watch out for that on the Russell, guys. 1750 on the Russell is where you're trying to hold as of right now. On the IWM, that looks to be just around this 173 level. 173, 174 on the IWM. But yeah, you guys can see it right there, right? 1740, 1742, 1743. So, yep, that's the futures. It's pretty clear today, guys, right? The zones are here for us. I'll break it down to a shorter term time frame so we can get a good picture of this. You can see this. This is on the 15 minute, right? Look at the 15 minute. You can see the zone that we're in. It's very clear. 12,000 to 12,250. This right here. Here's your zone. You can clearly see it. If you break here, right? If you do something like this, you're going down. If you break 250, right, and retest it, you're going up. So we just have to watch the zone. We got to understand our zone. We have to be careful of, right, when you're coming into the day. This is something I talk about all the time with the chat and when I'm live trading. If we're moving down into 12,000 and I see some downside on, let's say, Tesla, am I going to buy puts when the ES or NASDAQ is potentially at a demand zone? No, I'm going to wait for it to actually show me a rejection, show me the break and retest, show me the confirmation. I don't want to be the person that buys puts on Tesla when the NASDAQ is at demand at 12,000 and then bounces off that level, right? I don't want to be a put buyer at NASDAQ demand because the stocks will react off that. This is something that a lot of people don't look at, and probably this is why they get stuck in bad positions. A lot of people will not pay attention to the NASDAQ. They'll see the market move lower. They'll see Tesla moving lower. They buy puts, and they forget that the NASDAQ has demand, and it bounces off demand, and then you get hit. Or the NASDAQ's moving higher, right? People get excited. They forget about the overhead supply. They buy Tesla calls because it's moving up, and then the NASDAQ rejects off supply, and then Tesla moves down, right? So make sure you are watching these NASDAQ and ES levels when you are trading individual stocks. There's nothing more important. Okay, let's look at Tesla. So Tesla is interesting. Tesla's very interesting to me today, and here's why. There is some bullish catalyst behind it. As you guys know, the whole Twitter Tesla thing that's going on. It looks like, Elon may be backing out of it. Whatever it is, I really don't care. I think that's positive for Tesla because I don't think Tesla shareholders really care for Elon to be wrapped up in that. I think that's why you saw this reaction after hours on Friday. You guys can see right here, this is Friday's after hours. And this was a big move to the upside because of the Twitter sort of abandonment of that deal. Now, here's what I got to be careful of today, guys. And this is very important. As bullish as you may think Tesla was last week, as bullish as you may think that news is, you have to be extremely cautious in this zone because there is no joke. This is a no joke level here. You can see all the rejections that have come in here in this supply zone. I mean, all of this. This is not, something to just ignore and just say, I'm buying calls through this, all right? Maybe it works, right? Tesla, I missed Tesla on Friday because it just went straight up, and I missed it because, You know, sometimes when you're trading off a system and you need to see something and it doesn't work, right, you don't catch it, which I'm happy about, right? Personally, when I look back at Friday, I'm happy I didn't break my system to catch a move. To me, that's a really big win for me. It's a little bit annoying at the time because I see how much money I could have made. But if I don't catch Tesla because I'm following a system and it didn't align, then I'm very happy about that because I can see that I'm becoming a very structured trader and it's saving me money. It's saving me from losing, which I really do like. So am I going to be tempted to buy Tesla calls today into supply? Of course, if it's pushing higher, you're going to get a temptation, but I am going to be, I might be someone that's willing to miss this if we get a push into the supply because this is not a joke of a level. This is a 4-hour supply. This dates back 2 months. This is a 2-month time period. This is a 2-month rejection point. So just be careful of that, guys. That's all I'm saying. I could be wrong. It could just go right through, but I just need people to understand that this is a very interesting and difficult level for Tesla to be trading near. This could very well do this, right? You could very well see the same reaction that you have seen for the last 2 months. I don't know for sure. I can't read the future. If I could, I wouldn't be here. I would be sitting on a beach in Mexico with a few $1 billion in my bank account. But unfortunately, that is not where my life is right now. All right, Meta. Yeah, I was all over it, but Friday I missed it, Adam. It went without me. Friday, Tesla went without the NASDAQ. Here, you know what? Let me see. I'll show you. Let me see if I can show you this really quickly. I don't want to waste too much time, but I want to explain sort of what I'm talking about there because I think it's a good explanation. So here's Tesla on Friday, guys, right? And here's this 950. You guys see this pullback around 950? I was watching this pullback around 950. You can see the push. You can see the pullback around 950. Now, I want to show you something on the NASDAQ at that time. At 950, if this thing will let me zoom in, which it's not. At 950, this is what NASDAQ was doing, guys, right? You guys see this? 950, the NASDAQ was breaking demand. It was breaking supply or demand under 12,000, and I saw it start to break 12,000. So I got cautious on going long because I see a big break of a big level. You can see 12,000 flushing under 12,000, and at that point, I was like, okay, I got to be careful. That's a big flush under 12. I'm sorry, that's the wrong time. Right here, 950. You can see we're pushing down into 12,000. You guys can see it right there. Pushing into 12, getting weak, right? And I was a little cautious to go long here. And at the exact same time of us going down into that level, Tesla was taking off, right? Tesla was taking off. So when I don't see the NASDAQ and an individual stock aligning, it makes it very difficult for me because I have a hard time trusting it. But Tesla was just a beast. That's really it. Tesla was just a beast on Friday. So congratulations to everyone that caught that. All right, let's continue. Meta. So we talked about this triple top on Friday. Let me see if I can get a chart. Let me see if I can get a chart of it. Yeah, here it is. So here it was on Friday. I like to show you guys what it looks like. It looks like before the fact, so we can get an understanding of what to look for. Right here on Friday, guys, triple top rejection on Meta this morning. Watching for downside here if the market's weak. If we are able to break above 172.50, then I would say that it can move higher. This is what the chart looked like, right? This is what Meta looked like. This is what it looks like now. You can clearly see the triple top that came in on Meta. Very nice rejection there. That was what we were sort of watching on Friday. So you can see now that is sort of coming to fruition. You can see it starting to break down, and I believe Meta had a downgrade this morning. It did. So this is something I definitely watch for downside today. Of course, we're going to have to see what the NASDAQ does. If the NASDAQ is straight up, if the NASDAQ is strong, then Meta is probably going to push as well. But definitely watching this little triple top rejection on Meta, looking to see if we can trade this a little bit more to the downside. That's something I'll be watching today, guys. You can clearly see the rejections. You can see the triple top. That is something that definitely have my eyes on. Google. So Google's been a beast. We all know that. In the last week, Google has risen 12%, 250 points, which is crazy. Really big move on Google. Congrats if you caught this. And you can see where we're sitting, All right, you can see where we're sitting. Rejection, 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 rejection. What happens here? All right, is this another rejection? Or is this a continuation to the upside? Big level should present opportunity. If I break this down to the 15-minute chart, here's the level I'll be watching for downside. If we get below 2350, which is this right here, right? This little area here, this little bounce here, and then we have these two rejection points here at 2350 and this support. So this is a big level, right? 2350. If we get a move below 2350, if we retest it and we reject here, right? Something like this, I will definitely be looking to play this downside. If we start to see this move, if we see a little head and shoulder, maybe rejection of 2400, move below 2350, then I am definitely getting interested on this move on Google, because you can see how quickly it went up. There is nothing stopping it from moving down, unless the market is strong, of course. So definitely something I'm watching. If it doesn't break down, if the NASDAQ's strong, then of course this will be a candidate for upside, right? It was outperforming last week. If the NASDAQ's strong, then of course this is a candidate for upside as well. So you got to watch it either way. Either way it moves, it's at a key level. 2400. Definitely something to watch here on Google, guys. Okay, let's look at AMD, Nvidia, MU, and Qualcomm, and TSM if you want. So here's AMD. You can clearly see the rejection, right? That's a very clean rejection to me here, guys. So something I'm definitely watching. You can see, I'm going to delete these, just sort of get a good picture of the rejection I'm talking about. Right there, guys. What is this? This is a break and retest. Break, retest. Does it continue to the downside? That's the question. Of course, you're going to need market continuation to the downside for that to happen. But I'm just telling you here, look at this, right? Support, support, and a rejection. If you guys didn't know, you can copy your drawings in TOS by pressing the space bar. This is something I've learned recently. So if I press this and press space, I can copy it. Space, copy it. All right, pretty nice actually. So right there, guys, $80. You can see previous support into a rejection. Does this continue to break down? If I was to show you inverse AMD, you can see this is a bullish break and retest. What does that look like to you? That is a bullish previous rejection turning into support, right? Isn't that what that looks like? This is inverse AMD. So if we go to the actual AMD, you can see, in my opinion, that looks bearish if we hold below $80.50. So that's something I'm watching today. If the market's weak, Nvidia, you can see right here, guys, Nvidia, very similar. You have these previous lows and they're turning into resistance, right? Previous lows right here. 1, 2, and 3. Right? That's a break and a retest of previous support into rejection, right? Right there. 1, 2, double bottom. Where is it rejecting? Right at 160. Textbook. So if Nvidia breaks down below 155 today, if the market's weak, then I will definitely be looking to play that with a stop over 160, something along those lines. Obviously, it's different intraday, so we'll have to see. But that is definitely a setup that I will be watching. What else is sitting at rejection points? MU. Here's another one, right? Here's another one. 1, 2, and 3. What does this look like? Looks awfully like Meta, right? Another rejection point. This is why the title of this live stream is Major Stocks Sitting at Major Supply, because there's a lot of stocks sitting at supply this morning, guys. Everything I've showed you is doing that, right? You have Tesla at supply. You have Google at supply. You have Meta at supply. You have Nvidia at supply, AMD at supply. You have MU at supply. You have Qualcomm at supply, right? Look at all these stocks sitting at these levels. So it's going to be interesting. This is sort of like a make or break this week. Do we get above all these levels, or do we see another downside move? That's going to be the question. That's going to be you have to answer that question this week, because you can see every stock I've shown you so far is sitting at a previous rejection point. And that is interesting to me. That is to me, presenting opportunity. It should be a pretty opportunity-filled week, in my opinion. So Qualcomm sitting there, MU sitting there, AMD sitting at a rejection, NVIDIA sitting at the 160 rejection, and TSM's just been sort of all over the place. It's sort of sitting at maybe this little double top area here at 82, 83. I do use extended hours on my charts. Yes, they're just not grayed out, so it's prettier. Unless you want me to look at charts like this. I'll burn your eyes for a second. Here you go. Would you like to look at charts like this all day? This is not fun to look at, in my opinion. This is terrible. When someone posts a chart like this, I instantly turn it off. Just to let you know. Don't ever send me a chart like this. I can't stand looking at it. All right, there we go. So you can see all those chip stocks sitting at supply, guys. Something to definitely be watching today. All right, something to definitely be watching today. Okay. Amazon. Rejectionville. Yeah, I mean, it looks that way. Here's another one, guys. Here's another one. What is Amazon doing? One. No, I don't want that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? I think I've gotten the point across, right? And it's happening everywhere. So the real question is, what happens? That's the question. What happens? How do we know which way this goes? It's going to be all dependent on the futures, the NASDAQ and the ES, and Wednesday. That's going to be everything, right? If we get a big move on Wednesday to the upside, you're going to have a lot of breakouts on these stocks. If you get downside on the market into Wednesday, you're going to have a lot of rejections on these stocks. I think it's all up to Wednesday. So we don't try to guess what's going to happen. We don't try to predict it. We just prepare. So this is you preparing right now. You get your charts. You get an idea of where they're sitting. You know that no matter where the market goes, I don't care where it goes. If it goes up, it goes down. I know that there's a lot of stocks sitting at big levels. And I know these levels because I've prepared for it. But I'm not going to try to predict it. I'm not going to buy puts on Amazon today because, I know that the CPI is going to be bad. I know it. I know we're going down. That's just dumb, personally. So you wait. You look to see what happens on Wednesday. If you get a big move, you know where your levels are. You can see all these rejections that are coming in. Here's another one. Boeing. Boeing has been sitting at this level for almost a month now. All right, look at this. Boeing continues to reject off 142. Rejection, 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 rejection. All these rejections at 142. Every time it taps this level, it moves lower. However, it does not move lower with any type of continuation. That's the problem. We're not getting the continuation we need to get a trade going here. That's the only problem. So I'll be watching Boeing. I want to continue to update you on it. But until I see probably a break of 131.50, which is this level here, I probably won't touch this. Because I know there is demand down here at 131.50. So I need to see something like this. I need to see this move, a rejection here, and then come down. So that's what I'll be watching on Boeing, 131.50 break, and that rejection at 142. Okay, the XLE looks to be losing strength this morning, guys. I wanted to see the XLE hold this 70 level. It looks like it's not going to. This is what I was watching for XLE last week, and it looks like, I was looking to see if the XLE could hold this 70, 71. It looks like we're losing it this morning. So watch out for energy today, guys. It looks like it's moving down. It looks like we're losing strength here. You can see the downside move under 70, and if you go to like stocks like XOM, I wanted to see XOM hold 85. It looks like it's not doing it this morning. You can see this was a little bit of a hold at 85 last week. Right here, previous support. If I can get this to, it won't work, of course. Previous support into a rejection. And then Friday of last week, we held it as support again. So I liked that. When I saw that hold 85, I did like that. And looks like this morning we're losing it. So watch out for that. It's mostly due to the /CL being down 2.8% this morning. Oil futures are down 2.8% this morning. So just watch out for that, guys. You're getting a little bit of downside on the energy names. It looks like it's still just not really finding its bounce. XOM, Oxy, right? CVX, oil futures, all sort of slipping and actually continuing right now. Oh, wow, that just slipped really big. Look at that. So watch out for oil moving to the downside. That is, it's good for your gas prices. You've seen oil, gas prices come down a little bit. All right, Coinbase. I like this rejection quite a bit today. Definitely something I'll be watching. Here's the daily chart. Actually, you know what? Let's go 4 hour. 4 hour coin. Why do I like this? Delete that. Delete that. I did not say that. So you guys can see support, 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 breakdown, right? You slip through it. When you slip through support, what does it turn into? When you slip below support, what does it turn into? It turns into a rejection. It turns into a rejection. It turns into a rejection. So, support into resistance. What is happening this morning? They did reduce, actually. I saw it last night that oil prices came down last week. So, I'm not stating that based off nothing. You guys can see right here, maybe not where you live, but where I live it did. You can see right here, rejection here at 60 to 63. This is your level, right? This is your rejection point. Look at the gap down this morning. So you gap down this morning on coin. You look a little weak here. And I'm watching this 4 hour supply rejection. Very clear. Very, very clear. Let me go ahead and put circles here for you. Rejection. 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 Or that's support. 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 Right? Very clear. So that is what I'm watching today on coin. Looking for that downside. If it wants to reject that level, looking for something very similar to this move. It's something very similar to this move. Looking to see if it wants to do it again. Right? Okay. That is what I had for you guys today. To review real quick, I just want to give you a quick recap, and then we'll jump into the stocks that you guys want to look at. Here's the moral of the story today, guys. I'm gonna go through every ticker we looked at in about 30 seconds, and you're gonna see the same thing. Tesla, supply rejection, right? Amazon, sitting at supply. Google, sitting at supply. Meta, sitting at a supply zone. AMD, rejecting off supply. Nvidia, rejecting off supply. MU, sitting at a supply zone. Qualcomm, sitting at a supply zone. What did we just look at? Coin, sitting at a supply zone. So, what am I watching today? I'm watching to see how these supply zones start to reject. If the market is weak, if we get downside on the NASDAQ, I'm looking to see if we move lower off these supply levels. If not, if the market's strong, then I have to take a second and sort of analyze what happens intraday, right? I can't just go short everything without the NASDAQ showing me the breakdown. I have to make sure the market is aligning with these rejections. If not, then I have to sort of switch it up. You can't just come into today and play these rejections without seeing what the overall market does. Okay? With that said, let's go ahead and jump into the tickers that you guys want to look at today. That is right here. And there is nothing. Wow. We got a whole bunch of nothing here. Damn. That makes my job easy. Let me just think of some stocks then. I guess I'll take some from the chat. I know someone wanted to look at the Upstart, Roblox I saw. MicroStrategy. Uber. Ford. I'm only taking, what am I taking here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll take like maybe 10 at max. We already looked at the QQQ and SPY, guys. We look at it every single morning on the futures. Airbnb, CrowdStrike, DG, Home Depot, Apple. What are we at? Not looking at AMC. Sorry. 3. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. That's it. I see the chat going absolutely wild. Okay. All right. First one, Upstart. Yeah, Upstart's getting hit. Oh, man, it's getting hit. Look at this thing, guys. Upstart might be going out. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But yeah, Upstart's not looking good at all. This is looking pretty ugly right now. You guys can see this big breakdown of that 30 level, big downgrade last week. And you can see we are at all-time lows. Look at that. Look at that 25 level on Upstart. If we lose this 25 level on Upstart, guys, that's pretty massive. That's all-time lows there. Actually, no, it's not. I take that back. This is not all-time lows. All-time lows, IPO lows are 2261. I take that back. 2261 is all-time lows. So watch that, guys. 2261 on Upstart. All-time lows. If you break this 25, that might be where you're going. Another downgrade this morning? Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, watch out for that. Roblox. Okay. Roblox. A little bit of hold here, right? You can see it's starting to make some higher highs, higher lows. That's not bad, right? That's good to see. However, don't think that it's going to be easy to get through this area right here. Or this area. This is going to be very difficult to get through, right? This 42 to 45, look at all this consolidation. Look at these previous support holds and rejections. You guys can see it right here, right? Look, rejection, rejection, support, 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 rejection, rejection. And that is all right here in this 45 to 42 area. So that's going to be difficult to get through. So be careful. If you caught this, I wouldn't get greedy. I would say you've just caught a nice move. This could very easily come back down. If it does come back down, you need it to hold 35. That's a must hold. You got to see this start to happen, right? You got to see 35 hold if you come back down. MicroStrategy. This just goes along with Bitcoin. You know, if Bitcoin drops again today, you can see MicroStrategy's at supply, similar to Coinbase. If it's Bitcoin, guys. I don't know why all you have to watch for MicroStrategy is Bitcoin. That's it. If you want to trade Bitcoin on the stock market, trade MicroStrategy. Uber, it's done absolutely nothing, guys. The volatility in this stock is non-existent. I'm sure the liquidity in the options chain is non-existent. Yeah, I would not trade Uber. I don't know why anyone trades Uber. There's plenty of other stocks out there, guys, that have much better liquidity, much better moves on the stocks, much better everything. I would not trade a stock that's traded sideways for almost 3 months now. There's plenty of other stuff going on to ignore a stock like that. Ford, you can see just absolute disgusting downtrend. This is another stock that has no liquidity, no options liquidity, no movement in the stock, choppy price action. Guys, look at this. Do I need to say anything else? Please look at this. Just take a second and look. Why? Do not trade this. I don't care what Uber has on news. I don't chase. Guys, if you're going to become a successful trader, you are not going to be running around. I'm just being honest with you guys. If you come here, I'm brutally honest. And I probably offend people a lot, but I don't really care, to be honest, because I know I'm giving you good advice. I know it can be tough. If you're going to be a successful trader, you are not running around chasing news. I can guarantee you that. If you guys know successful traders, I can guarantee you they have a system and they trade the same system every week. They do not run around and chase news on crappy stocks like Uber or Ford or Robinhood or Roblox deal. We're going to chase this news, right? Guys, that's not how it doesn't work. So, Airbnb. Next one. You guys can see right here, Airbnb. Nothing really. I would just say, watch out for this rejection here. All here. All here. If it pushes up into this level, watch out for this rejection. 104. Weak bounce. Not really anything going on. I would watch out for that 104 rejection. CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike, you can see another rejection point right here. Look at all this. Look at all this right here. And look, you're sitting at it right now. You're sitting at it right now. So watch out for that. Watch out for this 190 rejection. Right here, support, resistance, resistance, resistance. You drop below it. You turned it into rejection. You're at it again. Watch out for 190. Right? So 190 is a rejection point. Watch out for that today. Dollar General. What's Dollar General been up to? It's been strong with the XLP moves, right? Dollar General is just crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty consistent move to the upside. I would just watch sort of this high here. You're sitting at all-time highs almost, which is pretty wild. So watch out for this general area. Right around this 258, 260. You have a previous pretty nasty rejection here. You can see that. Just watch out for that to potentially happen again. That's what I would watch out for. I don't think this is where you want to go long Dollar General. If you wanted to go long Dollar General, right, you'd be looking at I think the better play would have been, playing off this demand. Right? That's your Dollar General sort of hold. This is your demand. This up here, maybe you look for it to reject, but chasing it up here looks a little bit questionable. Home Depot, yeah, just been doing nothing. Home Depot's been stuck, man. Home Depot's been doing, look, it's just quiet. It's like a ghost town over in Home Depot. You're getting a little bit of a bounce here. If I go to the 4-hour chart, you can see we're getting something, but do I really want to trade this into all this noise up here, right? Look at all this noise. I don't like trading stocks that have, look at all this noise, upcoming. When you look at a stock like, let's look at Tesla, right? You can clearly see this sort of rejection point. You can get an idea of, okay, if we break here, you don't have much until this next level, which is right up in here, right? So I can see the opportunities to each direction. You can see, okay, we break supply. We have, not much. We have some free air here to push towards that 860. If we reject, I can see the possible rejection. Looking at a stock like Home Depot, right? You're looking at the left here, and it's just a lot of noise. It's not really very consistent. There's not very clean areas to play off of. So for me, this looks tough. That's just me personally, guys. I don't really see a trade here. Maybe you trade it if it comes back and hold to support again. Maybe if it bounces, if it drops towards 280, right in this general area, you can see 280. Maybe that holds again from here. Maybe you look for that. Okay, last but not least, Apple. And Apple's another one that has been sort of choppy for me as well. I posted this morning in the Discord saying I really don't like Apple's price action right now because it's sort of messy. So I'll show you. I'll show you why I say that. So here's the hourly chart on Apple, guys. And if I look to the left here, it's just a pretty difficult read because you can see, okay, we have some previous support here that probably will turn into rejection, which it already is. That's clear. Right? Why do I say that? Support, support, rejection, support. You broke below it, right? Now, what happened when you came back up to it? Rejection. So, 147.50, that's a clear rejection point. But between that and these previous lows, it's a pretty choppy area. Wow, Ike, thank you. Holy crap. $50 donation from Ike. That's Inter. That's Inter from the chat. If anyone's in the Discord chat, that's Inter. Shout out to you, Inter. Thank you, man. Great trades, by the way. You've been doing really well. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. All right. 147.50. That's your rejection point on Apple. Downside supports 143.40. You can see it right here. And in between this, it's just a chop fest. That's my problem on Apple right now. You can see in between 147 and 143, you see a lot of choppiness in here. So you can see it sort of happening right now. So I would look for the rejection of 147.50 and the support at 143, 144. All right, guys. That's all I got for you. I hope you have a fantastic trading day. If you want to come trade with me live every single day, you can check out the Discord chat down below. If you want to get free technical analysis on the futures contracts, you can check out where it says free technicals below. I post the NQ and ES chart every single day for you to see. If you want to upgrade within that group into technicals for individual stocks, then you can go ahead and upgrade there if you're interested, of course. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Press the like button before you guys head out. I would very much appreciate that. Like button. Let's see what we can get to today. Maybe 500 likes. That'd be awesome. Hope you guys have a great week. Hope you have a great Monday. I will see you guys tomorrow. Watch out for those levels on the NQ and ES. That's my advice today, guys. Watch out for those levels. Be careful of the range. Be careful before Wednesday. We might get choppiness before Wednesday, right? That's very important. All right, guys. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.